Let's get started. All right, come to stand at the back of your mat. Take a deep breath in, reaching your hands long overhead. Take an inhale and exhale as you lower your hands down to meet your ankles. Just gently pulling, rounding that back to create some space in your upper body. If it feels good, you can lower your palms to the mat, stepping on to the hands, really pressing the heels of the feet into the ground to open up the backs of the legs. Take a breath. And then walk your hands out into plank. Neck stays nice and long here, gazing towards the top of your mat. Belly button pulling into the spine. Heels together, toes apart in Pilates stance, squeezing those legs. Pulling your hamstrings, or squeezing rather, your glutes together to help create extra stability as we hold this plank for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pike those hips up and slowly start to pedal out the feet, bending one knee and then the other. Belly button stays pulling into the spine as your tailbone reaches nice and long up towards the ceiling. And then see if you can press both heels down onto the mat as your tailbone keeps reaching up towards the ceiling, creating really nice length in the backs of those legs. Walk your hands back to meet your ankles. Grab hold of opposite elbow and just gently pull down on those elbows, again, to help open up that upper back, keeping the belly button pulling into the spine to protect the low back. Shake your head yes, and nod your head no, or I think I got it wrong. Nod your head yes, shake your head no, and then slowly rounding at the back as you come fully up to stand. Take a deep breath in, arms reaching long overhead. And exhale, arms come back to meet your waist. Okay, come down onto all fours on your mat and come down onto your left forearm with your, I'll switch directions so you can see me better. So come down onto your left forearm, right elbow is pointed towards the back of the mat. Send your right leg back behind you and we're gonna lower lift the leg. So we have a nice external rotation of that foot, toe is nice and pointed. Belly button's pulling into the spine. I don't want to see any collapsing spine where your chest is reaching towards your mat, but I want a nice strong spine here, and that comes with the abdominal engagement. So pull in, and we'll do 3, 2, 1. Good. Now bend the leg into a diamond shape and keep going with the lower lift. So we have a slight bend in that right leg. Try to keep your neck nice and long, and I'm saying that to myself just as much to remember to help create that nice long spine. We have 3, 2, 1. Lift that leg back up. Bring your right knee, tap it on the mat in front of you, in front of your left knee, and send it back. So our knee taps in front of our opposite knee, and we send the leg back. Knee to knee, send it back. Good. So this should feel like a really nice crunch on those right obliques. And you're tapping that right knee down onto the mat with beautiful control here. We have 2 more. Last one. Good. Now bring that right knee to the right elbow. Extend that leg out to the side. Bend the leg and send it back. Knee to elbow, leg extends, and send it back. Good. And if this starts to feel too uncomfortable, like not a good pain, you'll know the difference. In that left hip, make sure you're sliding forward on the mat so that your upper body, your chest, is reaching over that left forearm. That's going to help balance your weight and take some of that pressure off the left hip. 2 more. Last one. Good. Now tap that knee down onto the mat. Open that hip for hydrant. So we're opening squeezing those inner thighs as we lower our leg back down to meet our left knee. For 3. Last 2. Last 1. And then you lift that foot up towards the ceiling and you pulse like you're stomping on the ceiling above you. And your knee should be in line with your hip here. So you don't need to go too high, but just gently press that foot up as you keep those abs engaged. Right elbow still pointing towards the back of the room for 5, 4, 3, 2. Then we tap that knee down and we press it back up. So we're just continuing with our stomping, but with a little bit bigger range of motion. Breathe. We have 4 more. 3. Keeping those abs pulling in as you lower that leg. Last 1. And then we hydrant. And then we press that foot onto the ceiling. So a little combination here. Side hydrant and back. Good. Open. Reach. Open. We have 3 more. I'm catching myself going a little faster than I like, which is what we do when we want something to be over, but really settling in here to move with control. Drop that knee down, send the hips back, and take a quick child's pose. Sometimes it's just harder to go slow when all we want to do is move through things to get on to the next. And this is like not just workouts, right? I know I'm always just trying to get the next thing done. It's harder to slow down and move with intention. Okay, let's switch sides. So I'm going to turn to face this way so you can see my left side. So I'm going to come down onto my right forearm. Just making sure you can see me good. Coming down onto my right forearm, left elbow is pointing towards the back of the room, and I lower lift my left foot. So already feeling it on this leg, which we just worked from being the stabilizing leg on the opposite side. So already feeling it. Try to lengthen that left leg as much as you can as you lift it up towards the ceiling. This was really hard for me to do when I was first getting started. I had not so great mobility in my hips, but this really helped open up my hips and give me much more range of motion. Let's do 2. Last 1. Bending at that knee for a diamond shape. We lower and we lift. Lower down, squeezing that glute as we lift the heel up towards the ceiling. Breathe. Again, making sure we're not collapsing in that spine. For 4, 3, 2, last 1. Then we bring that left knee to tap in front of our right knee and we send it back. Left knee taps down, really squeezing those abdominals, crunching those left obliques as we tap our left knee down with really beautiful control here. Last 4. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Knee comes to elbow. We send that leg out to the side, bending at the knee and sending it back. So here's where you really might start to feel it in your right hip. Again, slide forward, bringing your upper body as far over that right forearm as you can to create some more even distribution of your weight. But it shouldn't be pain, but some of the discomfort is just your muscles working, which is why we're here, right? Let's do 3 more. 3. Slow it down. 2. Telling myself, last one. And send it back. Tap that knee down and open up that hip for hydrant. So we open that left hip as wide as we can as we bring the knee up towards the ceiling and then gently tap it against the opposite knee as you lower down. For 5, 4, 3, abdominals engaged, 2, last one. Then we bring that foot up to the ceiling. We pulse, pressing that foot up towards the ceiling, belly button, especially low abdominals are pulling in and up for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 more. Then we tap that knee down. 1, tap it down, lift it back up for beautiful range of motion here. Again, not lifting too high. You don't want your knee coming too high above your hip. I don't want any arching of the spine of the low back. Keeping a nice neutral spine. For 5, 4, breathe. 3, 2, and then we go to our combo. Last one, we open that left leg wide, tap it down, and press up towards the ceiling. Good. Inhale as you open up that leg. Exhale as you press the foot up towards the ceiling. Open, press, open. Press it back. We have 4 more. Glutes are on fire here. 3. Keep that left elbow pointed towards the back of the room. This is where we start to get sloppy. So just make sure you're in control here. Last one. Knee comes down to the mat. Send your hips over your heels. Stretch your arms out in front of you. And take a child's pose. Reach that tailbone down towards the mat. Pressing through the heels of the hands or through the tips of the fingers, whichever feels better for you, to create some good length. Good.